All right, so I've got some juicy Season 8 information for you guys, and it came from an event on Reddit. It's an AMA, which is Ask Me Anything. And the developers, well, not all of them, some of them, were on Reddit to answer some questions from the fans. So I went through and I compiled a list of all the answers to some of the fans' questions. Now, some of the questions are really dumb. Like, for example, one guy asked, who's the kill leader in the Epic Games development headquarters? And nobody cares about that. I mean, who wants to know who has the most kills over there? So they, of course, said the guy's name. I don't even know who it is, to be honest. But more importantly, I want to get the questions that were pertaining to Season 8 and some nerfs and buffs that are coming. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to read you some of them, not all of them, because I don't want this to be 20 minutes long. So I'm going to read some questions and some answers. So the first question says, are clingers getting changed at all? And the developers said, we have a fix for the issue where you'll take damage from your own clinger through walls if you're within the explosion radius. So I didn't even know about that. Apparently there's a glitch where you'll take damage from your own clinger if you're separated by a wall. So apparently they're going to fix that. Clearly not Season 8 related, but still good to know nonetheless. The next question is, how long do you guys play test a weapon before adding it to the game? And they actually responded with a joke here. They said, do you mean before or after release? So that's kind of funny because, you know, sometimes they release a super overpowered weapon. The next question is, what's your guys' favorite in-game event you've held currently? And this dev responded with, nothing matched the chaos and awe-inspiring moments of the rocket for me personally. But I gotta say, I love keeping it mellow. So I would agree with that. The rocket launch was, I think that was my first event, and that thing was spectacular. I remember that vividly. Now here's an interesting question. He says, describe Season 8 in 4 words. And the developer's response was, bananas, 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 and bananas. So I don't know what this means. Some people have hinted that it's a jungle theme maybe. Or you know how we have the biomes, there's the desert, the winterland, and the grassland, stuff like that. Maybe there's going to be a jungle. But we kind of had that with Moisty Mire. So I don't know. Or, you know, it could be my theme, because I have a Super Saiyan banana as my logo. Well, I change it up every now and then. So, I don't know. I saw that, and it instantly made me think of myself. I like this question. He says, do you guys miss prison as much as I do? And the developer simply said, yes. That was it. A one-word response, yes. And if you guys don't know what prison was, in the first few seasons, there was a place northwest of Moisty Mire. Really, really underrated spot, and it was actually one of my favorites. Now this is a good one. He says, have you considered any improvements in team communication? Currently, it's not very effective. And the developer said, there's some improvements coming in Season 8 that will help with map markers and team communication. And we're always mindful of how we can make these areas better. So to me, that means, hey, we looked at Apex Legends as well, and we saw how awesome their ping system is. We're going to try to incorporate that into Season 8. Hopefully that's the case, because once you've played Apex Legends and you can ping enemies and everything, and then you come back to Fortnite, it's terrible. So many times I've seen enemies and I wanted to ping them, but instead I have to say, oh God, they're over by that object, or they're at 283, and my teammates are looking all over and they can't see them. So that's good. If improvements are coming to communication like that, I would love that. Now the next one says, are you planning on keeping the drift board, or will it just be a limited time thing? And the developer said, we're working on a new single occupancy vehicle and aren't quite sure how they'll play together. The drift board's reception has been really positive though, so we're actively discussing how long it should stick around. So basically they're making a new device that only seats one person, so maybe a skateboard or something. I don't know what it is. I haven't checked the leaks or anything. But there's not too many things that can hold only one person, so it's interesting to see what this is going to be. The next question is, will the building in Tilted ever be safe? And the developer said, is anything ever really safe? So that means that thing's going to get cold-cocked into oblivion. The next question had me laughing. It says, is the Zapatron returning to Battle Royale in the near future? And the developer simply said, the what? And if you don't remember the Zapatron, I think that was Season 1, and it was super overpowered. I never got to use it. I saw it once in a match, and that was it. The next question, are there any plans for a, quote, classic mode? For example, the original map or only original weapons and mechanics? And the developer said, we tried to capture this vibe with our unvaulted LTM. We enjoy having the limited and old item set. However, it's unlikely that we'll have this available with the old map and the old tuning values. But we're glad that folks are enjoying the LTM when it is around. Now the next question said, will there be 60 frames per second for the Switch? And if anyone's ever played on the Switch, it's pretty bad. Me and Nolan do father and son duos, and he plays over there and he complains all the time. And unfortunately, the developer said, I'm afraid that's not in the cards. So that sucks. The next question was, are double shotguns ever going to be brought back? And the developer said, we do not have any plans to bring back the double shotgun. The main issue is that the high damage of the weapon is balanced by its slow rate of fire, and bypassing that weakness makes it too powerful. Now here's an interesting one. Someone said, will respawning enter the game? Perhaps more measures to cancel thirsting. And the developers said, we've been considering this mechanic for a while and we've been exploring it. We want to make sure we give it the time it needs and fully understand its impact on the game as a whole. Look for further updates during Season 8. So that'll be good if it's like Apex Legends where if you die and get thirsted, you at least can be brought back. At least they're considering it. Now this one is going to get everyone hyped, and I'm sure most of you have heard about this already, but it says, will planes be gone next season? And the developer said, planes will be vaulted at the start of Season 8. Get your airtime in now. Now, if any of you guys are subbed to my channel, you'll know I'm the self-proclaimed Red Baron. So I know most of the population hated planes, but I absolutely loved them. Sure, they could be cheap, but at the same time, it was a great mobility item, and when they first were released, a great killing machine as well. Next up, the question was, any plans to change the shoulder bone of Ragnarok to the other hand? And the answer was, within Season 8, we plan to have some solutions in place for this. And if you've ever used Ragnarok, you'll know his big old shoulder pad blocks everything, and it's super annoying. So that's good that they're going to fix this. Now here's a good one. Are there any plans on bringing back old, popular places of interest such as risky reels? And the developers simply said, nothing like this is ever off the table. So that's good. Maybe we'll get the prison back, as mentioned before, or Anarchy Acres, hopefully, knock on wood. Now here's a huge one. The question was, do you intend on improving the gameplay sound? And the developers said, in the last few weeks, we started reviewing our gameplay audio and found there's a lot of room for improvement. Season's 8 update will contain the following. Improved weapon firing sounds. All player weapon fire sounds are now 2D stereo, giving them a much fuller and natural sound. All third-person weapon sounds from other players are now mono and run through the new reverb. So that basically means that you'll be able to hear them more crisp, hopefully. That's what it sounds like to me, at least. And then it says, new sounds have been added for going in and out of ADS on each weapon, as well as sounds for going in and out of crouch. This gives a better sense of player ownership of actions. And then it says, improvements to upstairs and downstairs footsteps for better tactical awareness. And there's a few more things, but I don't know what they mean. Like one just says reverb, and this says even more improvements coming later in Season 8. So it sounds like almost a complete overhaul of the sound system, which is great. That should be awesome. Now here's a good one. Can you add a button to the item shop to confirm purchases, to prevent accidental purchases? And they responded with, we're working on ways to eliminate these accidental purchases. In the meantime, we do have the refund token system. So that was a Mickey Mouse bull squash answer. And it doesn't sound like they're going to do anything about that anytime soon. Now, the last question that I want to read and answer is a big one. It says, in just one word, how would you describe Season 8? And they answered, bananas. So what the heck is with the bananas? That's twice they referred to Season 8 as bananas. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. I don't know. Like I said, I think it's a jungle theme, something jungle related, but we'll have to see how it plays out. If it's not jungle related, maybe there's a monument to me, Tabor Hill. We'll see. Probably not though, right? Regardless, again, let me know in the comments what you think about some of these answers they gave. In particular, are you excited about the planes being vaulted, or are you just excited for bananas? Because apparently Donkey Kong is coming to Fortnite. Maybe that's what it means. Who knows? Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Long live Carolus Rex.